this is just a question that I just want to ask you, right? Does it drive you mad? Does it nearly boil your bleeding blood when you put a load of effort into doing a quote for a client? You go out and meet them, you do your survey, you go back to your office, you do up all your presentation, right? And then when you bring it out and they say, can I have a breakdown? Can I have a breakdown of that quote, right? It used to drive me absolutely, but used to until I learned how to deal with it. But it used to drive me absolute bananas, right? Because once a client asks you, can they have a breakdown for a quote? Really what they're saying is, oh, I had no intention of giving you this job, but now I'm here and you're here and I have to come up with a question to basically get rid of you. Now that I have your quote, I need to come up with a question to get rid of you, right? So I've seen that loads of times, right? Loads of times. And I'm telling you, you know the tyre kickers from the very start. They're white pumps with the big black marks and they're going around kicking tyres all day, right? You're raging with yourself that you didn't twig it earlier on, right? I'm telling you now, let me know in the comments, right? If that drives you absolutely bonkers, right? Let me know in the comments, right? Send me a message and I'll show you how to deal with it, right? I'll show you a way to deal with it that it will never, ever, ever become an issue again. And in fact, every time a client asks you, can I have a breakdown of a quote, I guarantee you, when you deal with it in the way we used to deal with it, it will nail the job for you, right? Because it's just the people are uncomfortable. They don't know, what am I going to say now? I like the other dude. I like this fella. I liked him. Mary told me to get him. But I liked him now. But this is better. This is a better job, right? They're just kicking tires. All they're trying to do is they're trying to break down your quote against the other quote, right? And let's be honest, guys. Builders are fucking horrendous at giving quotes, right? Yous are fucking terrible. We're all terrible, right? We're all terrible at it. I'm not, right? Because I knew the process, if we fix the process, we will nail loads of them, right? So Keith said, he's saying, absolutely, and you nearly know what's coming as well. Keith, I will show you. You send me a message there, right? And I will actually, you know what I'll do? I'm not putting this out here, and I'll tell you why I'm not putting this out here, right? Because I've got my guys on my group, right? I've got my guys on my group, and I need to look after them more than anybody else, right? And this is just a nugget, right? That I know it costs contractors thousands of euros in not getting work every year, and it also makes them waste hours upon hours upon hours, because you know these fuckers are never going to give you the job from the start. But you're like, Asher, look, if you don't price it, you're not going to get it. Asher, I'm doing nothing else, I may as well go out. Asher, I'm doing other quotes, I may as well do this quote as well. I'm telling you here and now, there's a specific way to deal with this, and that problem will leave your business forever, right? And then you're going to be like, fuck, why didn't I think of that, right? So there's a few people watching this video here now that are on my program. I've already explained to them how to do it. I'm not telling you, right? I'm not telling you guys watching this right now. But if you want to watch, if you want to know, message me, right? I've actually got consumers, right, messaging me and giving me grief the other day, right? Imagine that. Like, I don't give two shits about the consumers, right? Because they're not my customers. I only care about my customers, right? I care about all the tradesmen in the country getting ran around, wasting their diesel, paying toll bridges, running their vans into the ground because they're driving from A to B to price a job to get a job, and they're never going to get the job, right? Not anything got to do with the tradesmen, but because the customers never have any intention to give them the job whatsoever, right? I'm telling you here and now, it is the fucking worst industry in the world. Imagine going over to Liffey Valley, right? Just over there, right? That's what I'm pointing at. Going over to Liffey Valley and buying a set of clobber, 500 quid, right? And saying to your man in the shop, I'm going to take this and I'm going to pay it in 30 days, right? And then going back over to them in 30 days and hand them 450 and saying, no, I don't like them. That's what happens with the building game, boys. You go out, you do a job, 1 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, right? If you're working for a builder, he leaves you on fucking 30 days credit, right? And chances are the builder doesn't know what he's doing himself, because he's going to get shafted by your woman in the house who got a 30 grand credit union loan, but she's already had to spend 28 grand before she puts a bleeding set of curtains in the new extension, right? And now she's starting to think, oh my god, she looked at the credit union loan 30 grand, the builder's quote 28 grand, right? And now she's starting to panic because, fuck, I've no money for furniture. I've no money for plants out the back garden. I've no money to do this. I've no money to do that. What does she do? She goes and starts trying to pick faults in the work done by the builder. The builder either takes the hit himself or passes it on to the contractors, right? And everybody just, oh shit, rolls downhill. Doesn't it, shite? I'm telling you, you need to tidy up on this stuff straight away. Builders are just not professional. I actually can't stand builders and pity them and love them all at the same time, right? I can't stand them because I see them, every tradesman, I see them walking into the problems. I see them, I've walked into them hundreds of times myself, right? I see them walking into the problems. I'm like, open your fucking eyes, it's not going to work out for you. But they go in and they get caught. And then the stupidity not the stupidity, but the fucking frustration I have of seeing them doing that then gets turned to pity, because the guys are out there working every fucking hour God sent them to make this job happen. And then no matter what, you know, and then the clients don't take, the clients start giving the runaround, and eventually they don't take the calls. I'm telling you here now, I guarantee you, there's no industry, in Ireland at least, that you're more at risk of not getting paid is the construction industry, the private construction industry, and even on the big end as well. I've heard builders being called. I knew a QS, right? And his job was to price roads and stuff. So when they're building a housing estate, his job was to price the house up to the floor slab level, dig out, clear the site, put the foundation in, build the rising walls, do the insulation and do the roads, right? And he'd price a job up, and just say it's 100 grand for the job, right? He would give the price to the builder. And like, these are the big companies, right? I won't name specifically who they are, but the bigger building companies, say the job was 100 grand, they would then get a contractor and say, there's a job, I'm going to give you 90 grand, right? They give him 90 grand, they get him to do 50 grand's worth of work, they'd have him paid 40 grand and they wouldn't pay him, and he ran off the job, and the subby would have to go somewhere else to get more work in, right? Contract, what do you call them? Subby crushers or something like that, they had names for them, right? I'm telling you here now, guys, the building industry in Ireland is a joke, because the guys who are doing the work, they're not switched on, right? The problem is, most of the guys that's running work, they started off in the trades and they come up through the ranks, right? But they never left the whole trade mentality behind them. You cannot run a building company with a tradesman mentality. Now listen, I walk into any of my properties when there's someone doing a job, I'm like, what happened? How much did that cost? Didn't it? Fuck. I can check out straight away. I know roughly how long a job will take. I know how much the materials are going to cost. I know my way around it, right? But I don't go in as trying to be one of the lads. I don't go in trying to be a builder or trying to be a tradesman. I go in as the client. I'm building a house. I'm refurbing the house. I go in there. So if I go into a house, say I buy a house and it's in bits, I go into the house and the lads are there. I'm not saying they're the lads and I'm the boss here. No, I'm the owner of the house. I'm the exact same as Mrs. Murphy down the road who's got the credit union loan. I'm watching here. I'm like, what's on here, right? Because if you get too cozy with them, it's hard to get them to do it. And I've made a mistake myself loads of times where I, as the builder, paid the fucking lads too much money, and then they fuck off, and then you have to pay someone else to come in and do the job. So it's a completely vicious circle that you need to be really tight with your systems. You need to be really tight with your methods of operation. Look, I brought my company from an idea up to €1 million a year, right? Not that much in terms of the grand scheme of things. When you're doing jobs at like 4 and 5 grand a pop, it's a lot of fucking work, because you need to do like 200 jobs in the year. That's 200 individual clients that have 200 different ways of wanting stuff done, right? And then you're trying to manage the teams. It's a fucking nightmare, right? I am glad I'm out of that industry, right? But the thing is, it was only when I left that industry that I'm looking back and I can see. Actually, who's watching this? Who's watching this video now? That has, if you're watching this video and you have your own business, press on number 1 there. If you're in the construction industry or you have your own business, press on number 1, because I want to connect with you. I can help you, right? But what I'm saying to you is, like, it's not that big when there's guys doing hundreds of millions and all that, but when you're doing small work, it's a lot of work, and you have to manage all these things. And since I actually left the industry and I spend my time meeting people through this page here, I see the guys about to walk off a fucking cliff. It's not that hard to actually tidy things up, you know? And if, right, here's a question for you. If you hate the dreaded question of, can I have a breakdown with that? Can I get a breakdown? It's nearly like McDonald's, would you like fries with that? Can I get a breakdown of that quote? If you hate that question, Press the number 2 and I'll fix it for you, right? If it sends a chill down your spine because you know the fuckers are going to drive you mad, press the number 2 and I'll help you. Trust me guys, I've done tons of work, tons of work, right? From the ground up in the most inefficient way possible. And now that I'm gone out there the last 14 months and I'm looking back in and I'm telling you here now, I can see most of the mistakes most tradesmen are going to make before they even know that they exist. I'm telling you here now, I swear to God, I've seen it, I've had all the shit. Look, we've been sued, I've been in the Labour court loads of times, been the High Court. Here, imagine this, we done a job before where the customer wouldn't pay us, right? And we wouldn't do any more work, and the next door neighbour got an injunction against us to force us to go in and fix the work, because if we didn't fix it, it was going to affect the structure of their building, right? Like, and this is just, you know, just imagine this shit, right? I've seen it loads of times. We've had the revenue audits. We got 2 revenue audits in the building company. We're in the High Court twice. Once because someone got an injunction against us. Once because someone took me to the High Court for unfair dismissal. 2 or 3 other occasions I was in the Labour Court. You know, people are probably going to say, why were you a bollocks? Listen, I was keeping my business right, okay? And, you know, anytime anybody gets fired, normally they bang in and out claims, so you're going to get a few quid, you know? That's the thing. You know, we had revenue audits, High Court, Labour Court. We had the central bank regulating onto us because we were regulated dealing with the insurance claims. Listen, man, that business was a fucking nightmare, right? Served me well. It made me fucking thickest skin of any entrepreneur out there, because I learned massive amounts of it. Thank fuck I was switched on to investments and buying properties and accumulating wealth, because I would have left that business after 10 years with not that. When I left that company, like, there was not much left in it, like, do you know what I'm saying? Now it's there still on a claims only basis, but the thing is, it's very hard to accumulate wealth in a company of this structure, you know, where we're all at here. You need to have something going on outside that. And guys, trust me, one day you'll get out of bed and you'll be 40, and you will be 40 or 45 or 50 or 55, and you just have a realisation, fuck, I'm not as young as I used to be, right? And that's when it's too late. Right now, you need to start thinking differently about your business. You need to start thinking, okay, how can I use this vehicle, how can I use this business purely as a vehicle for wealth creation, so that when I leave my business, I get these lights out, so when I leave my business, I'm comfortable, right? People are saying to me, Joe, are you not sad to be leaving your business? I'm like, yeah, I'm always shy. Why would I be sad to leave my business? That business served its purpose. I came in, I had the idea, I set it up, I built it. I used that business as a vehicle to fund my wealth creation activities. That's what you need to do. I guarantee you will agree with me that it's actually not harder to do than just running the business as you're running, but it does require a different way of thinking, you know. So guys, look, I'm going to leave you with that. It's been a pleasure chatting today for 14 minutes, right? If the question here is, if the dreaded question of, can I get a breakdown with that, drives you mad, press the number 2 in the comments. I'll reach out to you. I'll show you a way to deal with it that I will never cause you a problem again. I might make a video and send it to you privately or something like that, right? I'll do something. We'll connect, right? That not only will it not cause you problems again, it will actually get you jobs, you know. And look, if you're running your business, right, and you think you can do more, right? If you think you can do more, chances are you can. You just need to be shown a way. So I'm happy to show you. This is what I do here on my page. So be sure to reach out to me, and thanks for watching. Take it easy, guys.